My name is JS Chui. You can call me by my surname, Chui, CHUI. That's what people usually call me. And I'm heading the business divisions for Integricity. What do? I mean, I used to be the only person that sells Kaseya in Malaysia back many years ago. But I mean, right now, I'm glad that we have our channel sales director that's helping me, Johnny, and also our group of resellers that are helping me. Thank you very much for all your support. We wouldn't be able to make it without all your support. And I work closely with a lot of resellers over here. And we are a channel-based distributor whereby we do not engage to end users directly. So if there's any end users over here, if you would like to inquire more of our products commercially, please contact your sales rep. All right. Let me introduce a little bit on my company. So the company name is Integricity, obviously. It means that we are a city full of integrity. Our mission is improving life for businesses by ensuring technology uptime. It is crucially important right now because all businesses, I mean, they want to run their business remotely. But if there's technology disruptions or technology gap, they wouldn't be able to run the business because they can't even drive to the office. They need to go through the roadblocks. And sometimes, I mean, you have read the news, people need to go to the prison because they get out from their home too far away. We do not want to happen to anyone, right? So we have the right systems for IT departments to be able to service the endpoints, your end users or your customers remotely. Yep. Instead of calling ourselves as a software distributor, although we are, I would like to say that we are more of a leader in providing IT system management automation in the country because that's what we do. Our customers purchase or subscribe to the system because they believe in the automations, all right? And we have started our operations in the year 2000 during the dot-com boom 20 years ago. And it was a good time to start a business, but after that, quite a number of businesses also suffered from that. And 20 years later, hopefully we don't have another boom, right? Hopefully everyone over here, we can pull out from this pandemic shutdown safely, stay at home, don't go anywhere. That's why we have this webinar. We are going out of our norm on how we do business. Right now, I'm wearing my shirt at home to do webinar. Don't worry what I wear below my shirts. You only can see the screen, all right? And we have presence in 3 countries, namely Malaysia. Malaysia is our home base. This is our biggest operations. We have a small base in Vietnam, and also we have few people that is running our New Zealand operations. And we are the exclusive distributor of Kaseya in Malaysia. So all the sales that you have over here will be channeled through us over here. All right. Next slide, please, Johnny. Yeah. So let me share with you a little bit of our clientele that we have over here. I mean, this is just a small fraction of our clientele. I cannot fit everyone over here because I fit only people that I can tell good story from it. So we are focusing on few retail. We are focusing on few verticals over here, namely the government, education, retail, finance, healthcare, internal IT. So if you have questions, if my vertical is out from your focus vertical, can I still sell? So my comment to you is, if anyone that has machines that they need to manage, they want to centralize the management of 10 computers or 100 computers, they are good, prospects. All right. We have 2 main categories over here. Johnny, what before that? So we have 2 main customers over here, namely the government and the non-government. So we have government departments that have been with us for the past 7 or 8 years, and they are still renewing year after years. And we have the non-government clients, which is at the bottom. Let me share with you on some of the story on some of the non-government clients. So let me give you an example of My News. Before they embark on our solutions, I'm sure everyone knows My News, right? They're still operating right now. I mean, so lucky, right? They're still opening, right? So before they embark on our solutions, My News used to manage their endpoints, including the POS, one by one. And do you know how many endpoints do they have across the nations? When I talk about manage, so what do you mean by manage? So it could be as simple as remoting into the machines when you have problems, or if I want to get OS information on all those machines, how do I do it across the nation one by one? It's not rocket science on how you can do it. I mean, you still can do it. It's just that you need to have a very bloated IT department to do this. So instead of doing it manually, we use the system to do it automatically. Right now, my news is very productive in delivering updates to their machines, because previously, if they want to do any patching or any update on their endpoints, for example, POS update or pricing update, they have to do it one by one, many times in a month. Right now, it's automated. So that's the difference between using our solutions and without using our solutions. All right, so if you need to know more information about some of the clients over here, you want to know their use case study, please contact your sales rep and they will address your inquiries. All right, let me introduce you on Kaseya itself. What is all about Kaseya? So Kaseya is a leading global provider of IT management solutions. A lot of people ask me, is Kaseya from Japan? It sounds like Japan. No, it's a US company, although it sounds Japanese, right? So Kaseya is a native American Indian word that means to secure and protect. All right, so they have offices across the globe and it's being headquartered in Miami, USA. So they have offices all across the globe again, sorry. And their nearest office to us is Sydney, and Integricity over here, we are local reps, local distributor to support the end users over here. All right, so without further ado, I will pass the room, not stage, the room to our channel sales director, Johnny Lin, and he will bring us through what is available within our solutions. All right, Johnny.
All right.
The room is yours.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Trey, for the wonderful introduction of the Kaseya solution as well as Integricity. And I will take you further in detail of the two products that I'm going to share with you. So just to give you a bit of the unique value proposition that Kaseya always brings over is that the first thing is it's a centralized management, right? The ability to manage all your computers wherever they may be, right? Whether they are connecting through LAN or they're just connecting through internet. So that's the first one. And secondly, a single pane of glass management. So basically you can integrate IT management solution in a single console. That's so good, right? And the third one is a no human touch automation. I will explain further on this later on, but basically it means if your system, any of your system goes down, you can program Kaseya to actually fix it for its own, and then they just report back to you. All right. So that is the three unique value proposition from Kaseya. And just to give you a bit of background as well, Kaseya has been used by the best and the biggest IT service provider globally. In fact, you can see over here, 50% of the top 100 MSPs, it's using Kaseya solution. They are so big that we have third-party integration partners. As you can see the list over here, you have various organizations. So basically ranging from backup solutions, antivirus, and so on, right? So all these solutions, you can link with Kaseya VSA solution as a single pane of glass management. So right now, we know it's an MCO period, right? And everyone is at home. Yourself as managing IT is at home, right? But you still need to deliver some of your things, right? I think the most crucial one is, right, you have users at home, right? So how do you support your existing users that is at your home, right, at their own home right now, right? The second issue is that in terms of support, right, whether the method is secured or not. You need a secure method to ensure that there's no attacks and people trying to hack in and so on. The third one is supporting servers, whether your servers in an office or in a cloud. As you know, you are at home, you can't physically go to your office, so you need some sort of tool to handle all these kind of cases. And the last one is to have accurate asset information of your organization. So these are the issues that currently we are facing. That's why I would like to introduce to you Kaseya VSA Lite. So it's better than a remote control solution. Let me go further detail about this. It's actually, this solution will always help you to manage your computer centrally with a single pane of glass management with all these features here below, right? And some of the features I want to highlight is remote control, live connect, inventory and audit. And the best part is unlimited administrators. So we don't care how many IT admin you have in your environment, you can use it. That's the best part of it. So let me just share some of the benefits that you can achieve using the Kaseya VSA Lite. So firstly is you save valuable time. You can access all your endpoints securely, quickly, and without impacting users' productivity. This is the best part, right? And resolve end users' issue in real time. Right? The second one is manage device anywhere. So basically, you can manage all your devices wherever they are located, whether they have high latency network or not, right? Devices, whether it's behind firewall, at home, or on VPN, so you still can manage them. The third one, securely access endpoints. So our solution is actually a secured solution. So the remote control when you have with the endpoint will be secured, and as well as you can set policy-based control over who has the authority or which of your IT engineer able to access those machines, right? So you can set that. The fourth one I would like to share with you is the accurate information of your inventory. Information like, example, your CPU info, your free disk space info, your IP address, and software information, and many more you can get from there, right? So let me just share with you how it works, right? In a scenario here, you have like a network here with a few locations, right? And firstly, if you really notice here, Kaseya sits on the cloud. Basically, you do not need to have any server setup. Kaseya VSA Lite sits in the cloud. That's what I want to stress, right? So no infrastructure required. And what you need to do, you just need to install all the Kaseya agent into the computers or the endpoints that you want to manage, right? So once you have that, you are able to access and control them wherever they may be, right? Whether they are in the branches, as mentioned over here in the diagram, or and like now in the situation, users could be at home and also elsewhere, right? But I hope nobody's at a cafe right now or not. Our governments are very strict at the moment, right? So these are the things that we can handle. And the first feature I want to show to you is our Kaseya Live Connect. So it's our non-intrusive remote control. You can diagnose problem at the background, and I repeat again, at the background without interfering with the user screen with some of these features here. So as you can see, you can have a thumbnail of the user screen, and you are able to see what is going on in the machine, right? In the sense of the CPU utilization and storage utilization and so on. And you can also do other features. You can get asset information. You can do even command line. And if you prefer PowerShell, you can do that as well. And then you also can stop services remotely, right? And the last part, you also can modify registry. There are a few more features here, but those are the features that I would like to highlight that is crucial for your remote control support without interfering or without the user knowing about it. The second feature I want to share with you is our world's fastest remote control. So basically, this is our remote session. And if you have a security policy in your organization to allow only a certain groups of users to remote in and so on, you can set permissioning, all right? So these are the permission levels that you can set according to your organization policy. And the best part is you can do screen recording. In this way, you can do it as for audit purposes or even for training purposes as well. So you can do that. And one of the best part here is that all these remote sessions are locked down. So in a way, you know who remote in, which engineer remote in at what time. So you have all these detail there. And not only that, another best part here I want to share with you is we do not limit you the number of remote sessions, right? So example here, if you have 5 licenses for 5 devices, you can have 10 or even 20 support engineers to remote in, right? So we don't limit you. You can have multiple users, multiple admin users remoting into the same session, right? So we allow you to do that. So that's the beauty of it. We don't limit you. The other feature is that inventory and audit. So this is where you can get inventory information. As you can see over here, the software, Microsoft software licenses, you can get the operating system information and the OS information, as well as the disk space information of your machine, right? If you need to add on, we allow you to add on our web root business endpoint protection, right? So as you can see, this is like an add-on feature into your Kaseya VSA Lite, right? And just to give you a bit background, WebRoot has been trusted over 380,000 businesses, and they are the #1 in the MSP space at the moment. Well, that's the summary of Kaseya Lite. I will go more in detail on if let's say you need more feature, right? So let me just share with you. If let's say Lite is not sufficient for you and you need something more, you need more features, more rich features, right? What you can do is, right, these are the things that you need to handle, right? That's why you need more features, correct? You need to handle OS patching or even software deployment, and even all this you have to do it right now, right? So with this, I would like to introduce you Kaseya VSA, our no human touch automation solution, right? Just to give you an idea, it's actually a system management automation platform that will allows you to centrally manage all your systems and all the locations, all right, in a single pane of glass management. So what you get here is actually you get whatever that the features in Kaseya Lite, you will get it, and you'll get more. More, like you can see over here, the agent scripting, software deployment, patch management, and even agent monitoring. So those are the things that you can get. And the best part is you can achieve no human touch automation. All right. Let me just show you how it works here. Similar with Kaseya VSA Lite, you just need a single server. But for VSA, Kaseya VSA itself, you have 2 options. You can use the SAS version that comes from our Kaseya, or you can set up an on-premise version. All right. Similar like the Lite, you need to install agents to all the machines. All right. We support Windows, Mac, and Linux as well. So once you install this, what Kaseya can do is Kaseya is able to provide information of your system like inventory, your machine health, logs, and so on, right? And at the same time, what Kaseya can deliver is things like patching, software deployment, and even policy enforcement. Let me share you one of the features here. Alerts, right? You are able to monitor your servers or your devices. With this, you are able to know whether your machine health level, whether it's okay or not. So basically, what we are saying here, you can set the monitoring based on how, example, you say you want to monitor RAM, right? How low is the RAM utilization? It's low. So you can set that kind of parameter, right? So give you an example here. If let's say there is a machine, there's an issue with the antivirus, you see a red dot there, you click on it, it will tell you the nature of the issue. So at least you have that information. It can also be delivered to you via email or via ticket. The other feature that I want to share with you is agent scripting and automation. So if you are doing repetitive procedure like maintenance tasks, software deployment, compliance, updates, and so on, right? This is the feature that you will use quite a lot, right? And let me just show you, there are some pre-configured scripts you can use as well. Scripts for Windows servers, scripts for Mac, for Linux, and also scripts for maintenance tasks, right? However, if you prefer to modify the scripts based on your liking, you can by going to our script wizard, and you can see it's as simple as this. What you need to do is just drag and drop the functions that you need to the center part, and then from there you do not need to, the best part here is that you do not need to memorize the script language. You just click on the function, and then it will tell you how to fill up. So that's very simple. That it really helps for people that non-scripting background as well, right? So what can you do here? Basically, whatever you can think of doing via command line or even through PowerShell, Kaseya VSA is able to do it for you. So this is where the power of automation comes in. The other feature I would like to share with you is patch management. This is where you can deploy patches, patch to your Windows, and not only Windows, but your Mac machines, even your third-party applications like example Chrome, WinZip, and so on. And the best part is how we deliver this to the endpoint is via peer-to-peer technology. In this way, you reduce your bandwidth when utilization. Just one computer gets the patch, and the rest of the computer gets from that computer itself, right? So that really helps a lot in your bandwidth. And the best part is you also can get vulnerability assessment on your patch status or your patch level in all the computers. The other features you can do is you can do even server hardening policies, and you can perform a report, generate a report to show you the status and the level. The other part also, security products, it gives you visibility of all your antivirus that is installed in your organization, and you are able to check whether it's updated or not. And then let me just share you some of the other scripts that reports that you can do. Reports on your machine count, on your drive space, on your server type, on your uptime of your servers, on your bandwidth and your patch, and also a summary, executive summary of everything. So here what I'm trying to say here is that you have the whole entire list of reports that you can do and you can modify, and best part is all these are all customizable, right? But what makes Kaseya special, right? So once a client told me, Johnny, you know that monitoring is just monitoring, and every alert we receive, we already have a standard procedure to resolve that. We need an engineer to actually resolve that. Since you have monitoring and you have automation, can you not just tie it up together so that it saves me time? So what I say is that, yes, you're right. We are able to achieve that. That's why we call it Kaseya VSA with no human touch automation. So basically what we do is, with the alert, it triggers, you can ask Kaseya to automate or to notify or to do things for you. Let me just give you an example here to illustrate this further. Firstly, if let's say you have a server with this utilization that you set 80%, you say that's the threshold, right? So what happens if the threshold reach? So firstly, you can maybe program Kaseya to remove, do a disk cleanup, right? If it's still not enough, you even can ask them to do remove restore points or even delete temporary locks, right? So you can imagine what are the things that you can do. So a single script does a few functions at the same time. Let me just show you another example here. This is a bit more fun example, right? Games, right? I'm not sure, maybe you have users at home using your company's laptop and you do not allow them to play games and so on. So this is one way of doing it, right? Let's say someone play games, you can take a screenshot of it, and then you want to notify them that this is an unauthorized application to run in your organization. And lastly, maybe you might want to send this to your HR department as well, right? So this is the things that you can do and achieve with Kaseya VSA solution. So the rationale here is that similar to Pareto principle, you can see 80% of your IT basic tasks consist of 50 to 100 common issues, right? So if you can solve these 50 to 100 common issues, I believe you can reduce your workload by 80%. So with this, Kaseya VSA comes with the whole list of feature set that you can see over here. All right. Now, this is the end of my presentation, and I believe you would like to see the demonstration by our team, right? So I would like to pass this time to Aaron. Aaron is our senior engineer for Kaseya Solution. He's been with us for a couple of years already, and also he's going to show you a demo on the Kaseya VSA Lite as well as the VSA, standard VSA. All right, over to you, Aaron.
Thank you guys once again for coming to this demo. So just to let you guys know a bit of myself. Now, before I joined Kaseya with the team, I used to be a trainer and IT trainer. So what do I teach? I teach basics computers, like how to assemble hardware. So I remember those days when we are still using the IDE hard disk and the floppy disk drive, and how to set up like internet and all this. Then I remember teaching my student on servers installation. So those are my prime time before I joined Kaseya to take on another challenge. So yeah, sometimes I do presentation and trainings with Kaseya as well. So that's why today I'm really excited to show you guys these two product demo, which is Kaseya VSA Lite and also VSA. So let me share my screen here to show you our Kaseya server. Okay, over here you can see here's my Kaseya server, which is the Lite version. So over here I have two agents installed, one which is my own PC. That's my machine over here, and there's another machine back in the office which is on a VM. So Kaseya VSA Lite here is the goal is to help you to gain remote access to the machine without you needing to be physically in front of the machine. So the machine could be anywhere in the world, could be in Hong Kong, Taiwan, whichever, as long they have network connections. All we need to do is we install the agent, we click on deploy agent on this managed package. So I click on this, I have an agent downloaded. So for the end user, how do you deploy that? You just need to give this link to the end user, this particular link, or right click, you can copy the link to the download page and to send it to the user. You can ask the user to just double click and run the installer. So after that deployment, you are able to manage the agent on this manage agent page, one click remote. So let's say this is the customer machine on the other side of the world. I click on this and open a remote console, which allowed me to do a few things such as record the screen, and it will show me like how long have I been in the remote session, which is now counting 8 seconds and all. So once I'm in, I can do anything as if I'm in front of the machines. Now, of course, whatever we are doing right here, the end user is seeing the same thing as well. So it's like a mirror remote control desktop. So that's the remote function. And as Johnny mentioned, we have another remote method, which is called the Live Connect. The reason why is it called non-intrusive remote control is because when we do so, instead of clicking on this agent, I hover over the agent and wait for it, and I click Live Connect. So this is essentially a non-intrusive, which means that the end user would not be disturbed, or the end user will not be notified of this backend session. So you basically have a lot of, you can see a mini thumbnail of the end user desktop, like what's roughly the user doing. However, you can't move the GUI, the graphic user interface, like the start button, the Mozilla, you can't access it. So all you can do is backend access, for example, file transfer. If you want to get a file from the end user machine, so you can select a folder directory, or you can select a file, in this case a directory, and download it to your machines. Or you can alternatively upload a file from your machine to the endpoint, whichever it is. Well, the one that Johnny mentioned, which is the commands. So over here I have PowerShell. I can switch between command prompt, CMD, and PowerShell. So if let's say I were to execute a basic ping, let's say ping google.com. Whatever shows here, it will not be shown on the end user. So let me show it one time to you. I'm going to open a normal remote session. And this is the commands. And then you can see the end user, let's say the end user is doing, Mozilla Firefox, doing his normal work, just browsing casually, and we execute ping. We got a result here. It does not pop up on the end user side of the screen. So this is a really powerful, live connect that we can do a lot of things like services, stop and restart services. You can initiate a chat with the user if you want to. You can stop and start queue services if you want to, and like a lot of things. Basically, you have almost 90% of remote capability before needing to, initiate the GUI remote function. So that's Live Connect. So let's say we have done, remote control. So we have the screen recording, which allows you to, download screen recording that has been recorded just for future reference. You can So what you can do is that, let's say you need to share the troubleshooting steps with your other technicians. You can record the session, and then it will save in the cloud. So what happens, the other user, the other admin can log in and download the recording to play it back. Then they'll know, that's how I troubleshoot this specific issue based on this recording, instead of, compiling screenshots and the whole email for them. So that's really a powerful recording tools. And another thing that I'd like to show you guys is the audit. Now, it may be tough, to get the end user. So let's say if you want to get some data from the end user, like the RAM, the CPU, the disk, some list of software. I have been to a help desk experience before, and guiding a non-technical savvy user, it can be challenging, because imagine you tell the user, can you please go to control panel? Then they're stuck at least for a few seconds and ask, what is this control panel? How do I access? Then you say, press start. They'll be like, where's the start button? Then you need to describe, the windows, the logo at the bottom of the left side. Then it'll probably take 5 minutes just to get a single information. So with the audit function in Kaseya, the moment the agent has been installed, it will start to collect tons of information about the machine without needing you to, extract all this information manually. So you can see here, my laptop is illegal laptop, whereas a brand illegal, but it's illegal. I'm not using illegal hardware, by the way. And then you can show like all the software information, what other EXE you have, and the add and remove programs, what is installed in the machines, what are the hardware, the PCI disks that we have. A lot of all this information are all stored inside Kaseya VSA server. It's very useful if, so they can have all this information without needing to remote in, tell the user, let me just run some command to collect information. You do not need to. It's automatically collected upon agent installation. So that's the audit part. Then finally, Kaseya VSA Lite offers some reports features. So like those are the sample reports that you can run on, for example, Google Chrome version, and let's say software inventory, Microsoft license report, let's say software inventory report, let me run it. And it will run to all, and it will show me what I have inside all of my machine in one single report. So you can see here, there is what Windows 7, I have Windows 10. So once you have installed across, let's say like 50 or across machine, this report allows you to show you what you have, what environment your end users are having. Are they using Windows 10 or Windows 7? How many machines having Adobe Reader and stuff like that. So that's the report. Then remote control. I would like to show you guys some amazing settings over here, which is the reset password. Now, reset password might not be something like, wow, it's like, okay, it's just a normal reset password. But, in this stage of restrictive movement order, resetting a password for end user can be quite challenging, because especially for administrator password, if the user forgotten the password, you will probably need like third-party software to reset the password. Like, the last time I trained my student, we use Hiron Boot to boot into a CD and reset the password through some sort of command, which can be quite challenging in this situation right now. So that's why Kaseya VSA, we have here a reset password option. As long as the machine is online, you can select, let's say, this machine, the user forgotten the administrator password. I just need to set a new password and apply, and we are good to go. It will reset on the back end, and you tell the user the new password, you'll start to able to access again. You can also select to create a new administrator password or administrator account. So that let's say admin1, and this are the password, yada, yada, yada. You can opt to set him as an administrator or a standard user as well. So we just want to create a new user account in the machine. So this is a very great features for us to use during moment like this to remotely do a lot of things. You can even send a message to the users, type, let's say, please don't shut down, example, don't shut down and schedule when to send or when to do. So you can, if you have the idea of what to do, you can actually schedule send message to this scenario. Yep. So that's remote control, and you can create users over here. You can create your admins. So this is the users that log into Kaseya to manage the machines. So you create new user as an unlimited user. So it does not limit you how many admins you are able to create. Remember, these are for admins, IT admins, not for the end user. Yeah, all you need to do for the end user is just install this agent across to their machines. So that's for VSA Lite. Now, let's move on to the full suite of Kaseya VSA, which is the full suite of VSA. Let me switch it to this one. And here we have a full function features of a Kaseya VSA. So let me show you what else we have for Kaseya VSA. One of my favorite thing is agent procedure. Now, agent procedure is the automated center of the entire Kaseya VSA. Is the automation library, so which allows us to schedule a lot of script, remotely and automatically. So imagine this: you have 50 machines. You want to install 7-zip across to 50 machines across different places. You can write a very basic script, 7-zip, and select all these machines. This can be in Shah Alam, in PJ, in different places in the world right now. Just select these machines and click Run Now. It will start to push in the background. So how does all this script work is that in the back end, it relies on something like a Windows command or some sort of a basic Windows command to run things silently, like for example, execute shell command, install MSI, 7zip.msi. Yep. So the script basically can do a lot of things. So such as, for example, scheduling a reboot. And let's say we want to schedule a reboot and we do not want to wait 2 a.m. to wait for the server, until maintenance window. We can schedule the agent procedure. And you know what? Schedule this at 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. I need my sleep. I can schedule it right now at this time, schedule it, submit. On 2 a.m., the script will run on the background and start to reboot the machine or the server. So that's agent procedure. And let's see what else we have here. Audit we have talked about on VSA Lite. Whereby in the full features on the reports, we can further customize more reports that we like. So we can combine, for example, all of these reports is individual. In the full version, we can combine all the report together and create one whole report. It's customizable. A lot of things can do with it. It's very scalable. At the same time, shows you a lot of things about your environment. So not to forget, we have also the patching, which I call this a software management. So this is the place where we deploy patches to all your machines. So I call this the 4 steps patching, because this module gave us the option to set up a patch setting to your environment to start patching your machines. Setting up, managing Windows patches can be quite tedious job at times, because I remember the last time I need to set up patching to ensure, like, let's say 100 machines to be up to the latest patch. It took me and my team, without Kaseya VSA, like at least 2-3 months, just to get things right, set up everything, to deploy this, concerned about some network issue. So with Kaseya, we made it simple with the 4 steps. So the first step is to scan profile, is to scan the machine, like what are the patch impact. We have critical, older than 30 days, virus removal, and recommended. So we have 3 options, which is review, approve, and reject. So the best practices is, again, it depends on your environment. So like approve, if let's say your environment requires that all critical patch are to be installed. So you can select this as approve, while the rest is to be either reject or review to see, if you review means you can go through a list to say, should you be letting this patch go to your environment. Whereby reject means that you can reject the patch and it will not be installed on your environment. Then once the first step, you have the second step, which is the deployment profile. So after we deploy, we know that we need to, restart. So we definitely do not want servers to restart in the middle of the day. So what we can do here, we can set a reboot option, either to skip a reboot, or I do not reboot and send an email to the help desk team. So then they can, schedule the reboot accordingly without, intervention and all, without any downtime during production hours. You can even schedule when to deploy, like weekdays, weekends, Saturday, Sunday, monthly, daily, or weekly. Yeah. So that's the second step. And we come to the third step, which is the patch approval. Sorry, before that, missed up one. The third step is to assign the profile. So I can have all these machines and assign the profile. I have just created the scan, the deployments, once I have assigned the profile, it will start to scan accordingly. And it will show me, like, for example, this is a patch available for this particular machine and it's waiting to be installed. So it's because I have set everything to review. The final step, it's patch approval, really. Like, if let's say I have recently patched on my machine, so that's why it's only one. So in the future, if there's more patch, it will list down to a couple of 100 or 50. So you can decide, like, this patch seems okay. I have researched it, I have tested it, it's fine, I approve. Or else, if not, if the patches prove to be having an issue in my environment, I go ahead and select reject. I have the option to also create some override to, if I know a patch beforehand that is always having issue, I create a KB override to say, for these patches, by default, go to reject directly. Yep, so that it does not need to go through the scanning stage, and also by default, if you have the reject option on the specific patch configured. Yep, so that's the patching. And then I want to touch a bit on monitor as well. So monitor allows you to monitor your devices. I have 2 types of monitors that I have alike. So one is the fixed monitoring. So why I call this a fixed monitoring, because these are the options fixed by Kaseya VSA to generally allow you to configure straight away. So my favorite one is the agent status. So I use this a lot on servers because I want to know, especially this time, I want to know if my server is online or it went offline. So agent status will start to monitor the server, or either if it's down or lost connection. I can set it to alert if the agent stopped checking in for 2 minutes. And if the server is still offline for half an hour, send me an email again. So you can set it to your email, or you can set it to alerts, distributed email, alerts@yourcompany.com. So meaning any emails that come to this alerts@yourcompany.com will be automatically redirected to 5 of your IT staff to notify them that a server has indeed went down. Yeah. So not only we have agent status, we have load disk as well. So load disk space, monitor every drive for below X amount of percentage, which Microsoft usually is a 10%. If a 10%, it will start to show a red sign on your C drive. So load disk, agent status, hardware changes, and that's the fixed alert that we can set on the Kaseya VSA. So next question is this. Over here, it shows that any disk. So now what happens if I just want to monitor specific disk? Can I do that? Can I just monitor C drive? The answer is yes. Over here, monitor set allows you to customize all your monitor sets like C drive below 2 gig and a lot of things you can customize inside here. These monitor sets give you the option to create counter threshold monitor sets, services checks, like for example, web server services checks, and also processor status. So like for example, if a Firefox exe stop running, you can alert you as well at the same time. So counter threshold, let's look at this. We have a general performance. You can monitor a lot of counter like your CPU usage time, system processor queue length, and all these things are crucial to server's performance. Once you set that counter, if the end user complain it's slow, the server is slow, and you receive an alert saying that, let's say, memory page size is over 3000, let's say, at least from there, you're able to gauge which is the main root cause. Is it because if you do not have monitoring, when the server is slow, we are always without information presuming things like, hey, it could be the CPU, it could be the memory, it could be it could be a lot of things. So with this monitoring in place, it will tell you exactly what is the one that's causing the issue. Yeah. Which brings us to the next thing, auto remediation. Let's say, for instance, if the C drive went below 2 gig and you have a subset of instructions on what to do if it's below 2 gig. To save you further time, all we can do is combine agent procedure and monitoring at the same time, to do things like if it's below 2 gig, over here I have agent procedure, which is, let's say, Windows Disk Cleanup. So I have the option to manually run Windows Disk Cleanup and run to all machine. Or alternatively, I can go ahead to monitor and go to assign monitoring over here. I'm going to assign this specific monitoring to this machine. Say, C drive, say C performance, C drive below 2 gig, let's say below 15%. And then I'm going to over here select the run script option to run a cleanup. So essentially what is this is that the moment this alert has been triggered, it will auto trigger the script to do the auto remediation. So this like trying to help you to save time before needing you to manually intervene. So usually by the time you need to manually intervene something that is very serious, which is why Kaseya is here to help you to try to offload a lot of generic tasks so that you have more time spent on focusing on bigger projects and bigger things that you can bring to your IT infrastructure. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot of features of the Kaseya VSA. Now, if there's any question, you guys can just put it up on the chat box over there, and I'll try our best to give you the answers. Otherwise, that's it from me for today. I shall now pass my time back to the host.